Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, yesterday stressed that he would not tender an apology to former Governor of Rivers State, Dr. Peter Odili, over recent negative remarks he made against the elder statesman. The FCT minister said this at a luncheon he organized for his political associates and stakeholders at his residence in Port Harcourt. Wike was reacting to a call earlier by some elders in Rivers State under the aegis of concerned elders of Rivers State for him to tender an unreserved apology to Odili following his recent remarks against the founder of Pamo University of Medical Sciences. Wike once more alleged that Odili switched an appointment meant for his nephew to his daughter, maintaining that it was the elder statesman that had converted the state to his personal estate, describing Odili as a bishop. He said, "They said I should apologize for what? There is no law that says the daughter should not take up appointment. I agree, but I said, as an elder statesman, you should not have given that what belongs to your nephew to your daughter. Did I say that there is a law that said that your daughter should not be something? But you said somebody is converting Rivers State to his personal estate. It is not correct. The man who is converting Rivers State to personal estate is you, Odili, and to crown it up, you are now the general overseer. I didn't say anything wrong, so you cannot kill me for what I didn't say. They say Tinubu should be careful with somebody like me. Tinubu is not like you, Odili. If you are a good person, Tinubu called Rivers people as an elder statesman. He wanted you to make peace, but you came home. Ordinarily, what you would have done is to call Mr. President back and tell him how you have tried to implement some of them and ask him if there is any way you can do the rest, rather than disobeying everything." Speaking further, Wike said everything has time. He is praising the courts, the same courts that they said all kinds of things on national television against. Now, when they get judgment, the judiciary is correct. When they don't get favorable judgment, the judiciary is cash and carry. I believe everything has limits, and I want all of us to believe and have confidence. The wheel of justice is very slow, but at the end of the day, it will come. He urged his supporters amid political crisis in the state to continue to be patient, whether it goes the way or not. We cannot be like them to disparage the judiciary. If the judiciary is down, Nigeria is down. It might not end in your favor. It must not be that it favored me all the time. All right, George Azunda, I'd like to get your thought as regards to these. Wike saying he's not going to apologize to, Odili, after they've called him, they've asked him several times to, tender an apology to Odili as regards his comment.
Okay, thank you very much. I completely align with Wike's position. The reason is simple. If you complain of heat, then you don't have any business going into the kitchen. Because definitely, with the burning of the stove or the gas, it produces heat.
All right.
Odili was the first that fired the salvo against Wike. And like Wike said there, just in response to what Odili, you cannot accuse a man of trying to, convert the state to his personal property when you, on the other hand, is the one making efforts in doing so. An appointment, if Wike said there was an appointment, because he was very close, he was at the center of it all. And in government, they give patronages to who they want. If they have perceived someone from Odili's family, not the daughter, to take up a commissionership slot from Onega, Oboebo Mandoni local government area, and someone was perceived only for Odili as someone who was also close and a very senior citizen in the business of politics in this state, decided to convert it for his daughter. Then he is the one, converting the state to his personal estate, not Wike. So I don't see any reason why Wike should apologize, because Wike never abused him. He was the one that fired the first salvo. And Wike is not, the what we call the orderer, cherry, where it is easy for you to press the mouth open and you expect the person not to respond. Wike is not that. What Wike did was to, respond to what Odili did. You accuse the man of trying to convert the state to your personal estate whereas you're the one indirectly doing so. So there's no basis for the apology. There's no basis. Moreover, it is all politics. So I don't think anything that was said there is taken to heart. It is just what it is, politics.
All right, so let's take a close look at what Wike is doing, talking about, having a river state to himself, right? From his actions, from the ongoing feud in River State particularly, what would you make of that? Would you say, I know would you say, okay, let me put it this way, would you say that Wike is not, trying in any way to garner River State for himself?
Please,
from everything he has been doing, as regards the feud in River State now, would you say his actions does not portray that he's trying to garner River State for himself? I
don't understand what you mean by his action, not trying to portray someone trying to...
I mean, he's at FCT and is now eyeing the affairs in River State.
Is it even possible for one person, to corner the asset of the state to himself? Is it possible? It is not. These are just political rhetorics, trying to paint someone in bad light.
Right.
We are witnesses to what Wike, as then governor of River State, did in River State. He did not do those things with his personal money. It was still the resources of the state. So if he was trying to pocket all those things to himself, I don't think he would have done all those things. I don't think. So those things he did was with the state resources. So why are they even... See, let me tell you, we are in a state where politics thrive.
All right.
And sometimes when you want to bring down someone, you try to accuse them of something. People can definitely accuse you of anything. Like Wike said, people have framed him up, of armed robbery. People have framed him up of murder cases and things like that. Nothing has never seen his political sojourn. So these things are permissible. In our kind of politics, people would say a lot of things, all because they want to sway their supporters, into believing what they are saying, all for the purpose of, winning an election and also gaining some kind of traction. So it doesn't really mean that that's the truth. So you cannot accuse Wike of, trying to corner the resources of the state to himself. Can one person? That's the question. Can one person and his cronies corner the entire resources of the state to themselves? It's not possible. Look at what the man has, done in the past 8 years that he reigned as governor of River State. Those things was done with the resources of the state. Sometimes we even the media, want to accuse them of not doing the rightful thing. Sometimes there are ways you can, carry out some kind of investigation to know how much came into River State from when Wike became governor to when he left. What are the projects and programs that he did? How much did it cost? Then from there you can know whether it was possible for him to have converted the asset of the state to his personal use and all of that. Those are things you can find out easily.
Well, talking about Wike's administration, I also like to ask this particular pertinent question, right? He ruled for 8 years, right? Were there any interference from his predecessor, like what we are experiencing today?
Please, let me get you back again.
Okay. I said during all through his tenure, right, as a River State governor, that's Barrister Nyesom Wike, right? Were there any sort of interference from his predecessor while he was still...
You're talking about interference. You need to look at the situation of things when you're talking about interference. When Wike came on board, Wike won an election as an opposition party. So the man he took over from had no business to interfere in whatever. He had no business because they were not of the same party. Now, talking about interference, what interference are you talking about? Has Wike interfered in any way? This is what people, keep saying from the outside.
All right.
Wike was the leader of the government. It was through the structure that he set up that brought about the incumbent governor. And whether you like it or not, he has to, as another statesman who has been there, he has been able right to make 1 or 2 inputs. It's a natural thing, it's normal. There's nothing, that one can say about that. So, but when you talk about interference, I don't know if you're trying to say that he was the one as a de facto governor or something. There's nothing like that. Governor Sim Fobara had been the one, running the administration. It is just normal in every political climate in Nigeria that, if you have a predecessor who he came from the same party with you, who was instrumental in your emergence, one way or the other, you consult him for one thing or the other. It's normal in politics. So if that is what you call interference, I say, okay, no problem. But not that the man was trying to run the government for football. I leave those those things were just what people were saying, but there's nothing like that. But you cannot say that a man who midwifed a process would not have access or would not want to make input into one or two. It's normal in our claim.
All right, so just for clarity's sake, what would you make of the statement by Barrister Nyesom Wike saying that if the judiciary is down, Nigeria is down?
That is the honest truth. Like I have always said here in our different programs here, I've always said it. People should stop denigrating the judiciary. The judiciary is one arm of the government. They are the arbiter. There is a reason why, you know, they became one of the arms of the government. Without the judiciary, then we'll go back to state of nature where those who have the strength, the power, can overrun those who are weak, and nobody will say anything. Judiciary is there to ensure that, you know, the laws of the land are followed. That is not to say that there are no challenges here and there, but overall, you cannot dismiss the judiciary because they play a very vital role. So I agree with you completely that if anything happens to the judiciary, anything negative happens to the judiciary, then Nigeria is gone. Because what that means is that even on my way to this place, someone who is stronger may decide to stop me somewhere that you can't move, and nobody will say anything. So the judiciary is very, very crucial, you know, to the survival of Nigeria's democracy and even the Nigerian nation. So I completely align with that.
I would like to ask you, well, Wike made a statement here that he loves the presidency of the administration of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and is advising the River State, you know, citizens to support the presidency as regards his governance. I would like you to also give me your take on that.
The fact is, Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, and whether you think he's governing well or not, he's the president, so he deserves every support to do well. He's not there for himself, he's there for the entirety of the Nigerian people. So if he succeeds, the Nigerian nation has succeeded, which will impact positively on the citizens of the nation. If he fails, it will also impact negatively on the citizens. So we have every reason to support him like the minister has called us to do. It's very important. And I must say this, I'm not a supporter of Tinubu per se. I'm not in his party. You know, I do not hate him. He's the president of Nigeria, so I have every right to support him to succeed. If you look at so far what he's doing, he's taken very strong decisions that some presidents could not take as at when they were there, because they were, you know, trying to take the safer path where they will not have backlash from Nigerians. But the country was drifting. Today, the president has come to say, I will take tough decisions that will, in future, impact positively, you know, in the Nigerian nation. Today, we are saying that, like I said earlier in my opening statement here, that the festive period, for the first time in many years, we never had the scarcity of PMS. The availability is there, even though the cost was high, but the cost is gradually dropping. At some point, we bought up to 1,004. Today, we are buying 1,050 naira. Some places you see 150 naira, things like that. So gradually, you know, the market forces will ensure that the price of PMS reduces, and that is a very big plus for the president of this nation. Other president could not do that. You know, so I believe with time, all things being equal, the president will achieve something positive that we all will be proud of. So I agree with Nyesom Wike that we should support and pray for the president to succeed. All right,
then talking about the feud between Odili and Wike, do you think the president has a role to play in the settlement of all of this?
In what?
In the feud, in settlement of the feud between Odili and Wike.
And Odili and Wike, they haven't feud. They are not, I don't think, well, let me say this. It will be petty for the president to call for a kind of peaceful resolution. Yes. It's Odili and Wike having challenges. This is just normal political rhetoric that people say. You know, it is normal within our political system here that people can fire salvos and there will be responses. So it is not an issue. If you're talking about a feud between, you know, the camp of the minister and that of the governor, one would say, okay, that can, you know, to an extent, you know, make some meanings, to the people. Not between Odili and Wike. Are they having any issue?
Well, if you could recall, Wike said that Odili would have reached out to the president, and when the president called for a dialogue between the both of them, that he would have reached out to them. That is why I'm asking, do you think?
No, what Wike actually meant by that is that Odili, as the elder statesman in Rivers State, was one of those who was privileged to, be where this peace was brokered.
All right.
Where they had a peaceful resolution of the matter that was brokered by the president, which Odili was one of the signatories to that peace pact. So what Wike was trying to say is that as another statesman who was part of the peace, who was part of the resolution of that peace that was brokered in the State House, he should have reached out to the president to say, we have implemented A, B, and C. We are having challenges implementing D, E, and F. Please, Mr. President, is there any way you can wade in? But he did not do that. He went on to take side with the governor to escalate the issue. So that is exactly what Wike is saying. So Wike and Odili are not having any personal problem. This is just normal political jabs that people can throw. So nobody should take it to heart. It's one of those things that happen. So if you're talking about resolution, it should be between the camp of the minister and that of the governor, not between Wike and Odili.
Wow.